Kiera Morgan. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Election Information. We in Lincoln County are in the middle of a recall of our County Commissioner, Claire Hall. I am with Christine Hutchins, who is the one who put forth the petition for the recall. Christine, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for coming, Kiera.
Christine, first of all, can you tell us a little bit of background as to why you put forth this initiative for the recall?
Absolutely. This came about because I started to listen to the BOC interviews, the meetings online.
Board of Commissioners.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And started to see what I felt were some very strange things going on. It started back in September, and it just
2024
seemed to just be getting a little worse over time. And so I actually went to the Board of Commissioners meeting on 6/4 to explain that I felt that possibly our tax monies weren't being managed correctly. That didn't end well. I ended up going back on 6/18 to explain that I was very concerned about something that had happened after the 6/4 meeting, and started to do a tremendous amount of research. And that research pulled up a lot of problems. I had been monitoring the audits that were done in 21, 22, 23, and now 24, just recently. Coming from a financial background, they concerned me a lot because we've got a budget now of about $208 million, and there seems to be no oversight. Because how we can have material weaknesses that are very, very serious for the county not get resolved over 4 years, that is very concerning.
And now Commissioner Claire Hall has been in office for over 22 years, a very long time. And I believe 6 terms being reelected, one of the longest in Lincoln County, I believe. So what do you think is happening and why Claire?
I believe, long service to a point is a good thing. And I believe that Commissioner Hall in the past did a wonderful job for Lincoln County. There's an awful lot of things I could point to that I feel she did a good job on. However, in 2021, things started to change clearly. Mainly the audits started to, and that could have been related to COVID. So you try to give a little bit of a break for that. However, it became clear when this incident happened in 9/18, the meeting, where Commissioner Miller had to bring out into the open that there were violations of public meeting law. I'm very concerned at the way Commissioner Hall has presented that as if he attacked them, when really all he did was putting it into the record. So at that point, that really sort of opened up my eyes to what was going on. And I just feel that our commissioners should be getting along. It's for the benefit of the entire county. And from further examination of everything, I've come to the realization, and this is just my opinion, of course, is that the problems Commissioner Miller's having are related to the fact he was very, very helpful, or attempted to be, to the district attorney so she could get her situation hopefully on the agenda. Obviously she's never been able to, and she's now speaking in the public comments. This concerns me because, this is our home. I built a home here. My family's here. We have wonderful friends that we've built over the last 8 years. And I would really like to believe that, it's a health and safety issue for me. Our neighborhoods are starting to become more dangerous. I'm signed up on the alert system for our homeowners association. And so I'm seeing that there's more crime happening. And so when I heard about all of this, I did call the district attorney because I couldn't believe the rumors and the things I was reading, that, that her office is so understaffed. And I found it just incredible that there's this battle that's been going on for years. And this has to stop. if we're going to have safe neighborhoods.
And let's talk a little bit about the recall itself. Was it hard for you to get all the signatures that you needed?
Well, this was a first time thing for me. I've never involved myself in politics in the past. My husband and I are independents, so we try not to get involved in all the inertia of all the name calling and the belonging to certain groups, the pigeonholing. I just believe we're all individuals and that Lincoln County voters are smart and that they won't get, this inflammatory language that's being thrown out. So when I spoke to them, it was wonderful because I would have loved to have been able to speak to all of them, which obviously is not going to happen with 51,000 residents. But what I found out was things I hadn't expected. I found out that people are very frightened. I've found out that people are really hurting. A lot of people need a lot more help than they're receiving. And I think if we managed our money more correctly, we'd be able to do that. There's an awful lot of money that seems to be moving around that without a forensic audit, we'd never know what's going on. But as far as getting the signatures, back to your question, no, it really wasn't that difficult. There are obviously people that, were adamant they didn't need to sign it, and we just welcomed them, have a good day type of thing, and we moved on. But there was an awful lot of people that wanted to tell us their personal stories. So I really feel like I have my finger on the pulse of Lincoln County as of 2 months ago. I mean, obviously, I've not spoken to anyone since.
And let's talk a little bit about, you mentioned that the audits was a huge deal, and getting along with other county commissioners and county departments, that was something very important as well. So let's talk a little bit about how things have gone now that the signatures have been turned in and everything has been verified.
Well, we're moving forward to an election. Commissioner Hall had the choice of whether to resign at that time because she has been recalled at this point. There's a lot of sort of mixture of messages out there. Once you collect the required signatures and they've been verified, the office has been recalled. So then it's a choice of, are you going to fight to keep your office? And that is the choice that Commissioner Hall's made, which of course will cost the county quite a bit of money.
And some have asked if you are choosing, as the group that's recalling, if you are choosing the next commissioner, should the recall go through. Can
Right.
you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I've heard this a lot. And just so we understand the whole thing is we had 71 collectors of signatures, and it's truly bipartisan. We had Democrats, Republicans, independents, non-affiliates. And we were asked quite often, well, who are you going to put in her place? And of course, Oregon statute states that we don't get to pick that. That is picked solely by the current commissioners that would remain in office, which would be Waterchuck and Casey Miller.
So ballots go out soon. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, the ballots are going out December 22nd, and of course the election is on 1/9. So I'd like to let everyone know that if you're going to be out of town and you would like to vote, you can go to the county and get an absentee ballot. I've had a lot of calls from people concerned because they're leaving for the holidays. I mean, obviously this is not the best of the time to have a thing, but we chose the time we did, which was I believe 8 months into her term, was because things were starting to escalate, the behaviors that were concerning to me. That was why the time was picked.
All right. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Christine?
I would just hope that once this is over, that Lincoln County can pull back together again. This has obviously been pretty divisive, and some of the inflammatory language, I think we need to dial that back. And the reason is somebody's going to get hurt if this keeps up. And I've had threats. I've had threats of being poisoned when I go out to eat and just a bunch of crazy things. And I just don't feel there's any need for this. We have the legal right to redress our government, and that's what we've done. And I'd like to basically thank everybody that has participated. Every single collector, every single signature was precious to us. And the stories that we heard were just incredible, sometimes in a bad way. But I'm hoping that once this is all over, if the county wishes to keep Commissioner Hall, that's their vote. We accept it, and I'm hoping that Commissioner Hall accepts it if it does come out the other way.
And if someone wants some more information, how can they obtain that?
They can contact us through the website, which is recallhall.com, or through my Facebook page. We've tried to put information in one place so that it doesn't get distorted. Everything is footnoted, so we've got backup proof of everything we're saying, because we've wanted to keep this truthful. We don't want to be wandering off into the weeds with rumors and this type of thing. So unless something could be 100% backed up, we haven't put it out there. So recallhall.com is the website, and they can contact me through Facebook Messenger, and I'd like to say that many have already, and we're hopefully getting their questions answered, and then they have the choice of how to vote.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Christine, for joining me on election information.
I appreciate you coming out.
Thanks for joining me. I'm Kiera Morgan.